morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, March 22nd, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Well, there was a big series of bombings in the Belgian capital of Brussels earlier today. At least 28 people have been killed. There were two sets of explosions. Explosions rocked a check-in zone at the Brussels airport, and another explosion rocked a subway stop in the Belgian capital. Officials raised the terror threat level to the maximum. They shut down all public transport in the city and once again advised the population to remain inside. The two explosions at the airport were likely caused by a suicide bomber, or at least one of them were. The apparent strikes by terrorists come after a flurry of counterterrorism activity, including the arrest on Friday of Europe's most wanted man, Salah Abdeslam, in connection with the Paris terror attacks back in November. Authorities also confirmed an explosion at a metro station in Malbec that killed at least 15 people. Security sources said that one of the airport explosions happened near a check-in desk 4 in Departure Hall 1, which is used by international carriers including American Airlines. Roads and public transportation leading to the airport as well as incoming and outgoing flights were immediately stopped. Scenes from the subway explosion showed smoke pouring out of the station. The subway explosion is located near the European Union institution buildings. The cell phone network in Brussels quickly crashed because of overuse. The Belgian foreign minister said that following Abdeslam's arrest, the suspect had been planning to restart something in Brussels. This was because of the vast amounts of heavy explosives found when he was arrested. The international insurance market and reinsurance market is similarly now on alert after the explosions. The global reinsurance community writes a €587 million stop-loss protection in excess of an annual aggregate of €300 million. It's as a result of something called the Belgian Terrorism Reinsurance and Insurance Pool. The pool was formed in 2008. It covers both life and non-life losses. The first level, up to $300 million, is covered by local or Belgian insurers. Approximately 70 Belgian insurers cover it. And then above that is a layer which is reinsured out to the reinsurance community. That layer runs from about €300 million up to €1.1 billion. A premium changed hands in 2013, for example, the latest information that's available, of some €16 million for that protection. It's a fairly broad scheme, as a terrorist scheme should be. It covers vehicles registered in Belgium, property in Belgium, industrial fire risks, assistance for legal expense, third-party liability, life insurance, personal accident, health and hospitalization, etc., etc. The FlyDubai crash, which occurred in Rostov-on-Don over the weekend, is going to have complications for Chubb. Chubb leads the Emirates program. Emirates is the owner of the value carrier. Chubb is apparently going to be hit by a $49 million hull claim following the loss of the flight in Rostov-on-Don. Willis placed the all-risk program. It's too early to predict the size of the liability loss, but market sources are saying that it probably is unlikely to exceed $100 million. Lead insurers in airline market tend to be in the region of about 10%, so there will be other carriers affected. In addition to the news of the Chubb being the leader on the policy, RT News is reporting that former employees, one in particular a former pilot of FlyDubai, is complaining about working conditions at the airline. He said that the pilot was worked to death by the airliner. Former pilot said that FlyDubai's top management was aware that pilots were being overworked as complaints had been made to the authorities. A new report emerged about FlyDubai's crew being overworked yesterday, on the same day that the Russian investigators say that now in fact they have been able to retrieve information from the cockpit voice data recorder. The ex-pilot, who refused to be named, said, "When I was at the company, one of the last things I told management is that there would be an accident because of pilot fatigue." RT News cited the flight log of the co-captain of the flight that crashed, which indicated that the gentleman had worked for 11 days in a row with only 1 day off prior to the crash. The pilot, who refused to be named, said there was no doubt he was fatigued and exhausted. For that, the airline, no matter how much they may try to deny it, is responsible. A source close to the captain of the flight told RT News that the captain, Aristos Sokratos, had reportedly filed paperwork containing his resignation because of the hectic schedule, and had only a few weeks to go until he left. The New Year's Eve fire in Dubai at the address downtown hotel that burned for about 20 hours before firemen could put it out is now heading toward a $200 million insured loss. This is according to market sources. Apparently, the loss is going up because the blaze ripped through a retail mall and hundreds of apartments, some of which are understood to have contained high net worth items, including high value paintings. It's now also been revealed that the original insurer, Orient Insurance, retained a gross of 36% of the coverage, but quota shared it out to the international insurance market. Also increasing concern now is the prevalent use of the material used to clad the outside of the building, given its extreme flammability. The address downtown in Dubai used a material made of aluminum on the outside and an extremely flammable form of plastic on the inside. The same material is estimated to be used in about 60% of all Dubai high-rises. Ian Bremer, the CEO of Capita Managing Agency at Lloyd's, has resigned to join Lloyd's syndicate Barbican later this year. Capita is only one of 4 dedicated third-party MGAs offering turnkey solutions for new syndicates, including Asta, Randall & Quilter, and Charles Taylor. And this is beginning to be like sightings of Amelia Earhart or Jim Morrison, but the Malaysian transport minister says that there's a good chance that debris found in a lagoon in the coastal area of South Africa might be parts of an engine cowling from MH Flight 370, the Malaysian Airlines flight that crashed 2 years ago, or I should say disappeared 2 years ago, with all 239 people on board. Nobody yet knows what happened to the flight. However, the debris is of such promise that it has now been sent to Australia, which is heading the investigation for analysis. So we may at least finally learn, indeed, that the plane crashed and disintegrated. That's the news for today. If there's any more activity in Belgium, we'll come back and let you know. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.